They look up and down, left and right. They see say na only them and God. What did they tell themselves? Even God self go advise them, my sister, my brother, just carry your bag, they go. Because honestly, people are leaving the UK, and I don't know, I really don't know how to say this. I feel this way because I know people whom I came to this country with as at when I did, and some of them, a few of them actually have returned back to our home country. I know someone from, I think she's Nepal, yeah, who returned. And it's been on the rise. People keep coming here, with the hope to stay back, but eventually they go back. Now, I'm not going to say that the reason behind this is the high cost of living, as the majority of people are saying. I do not think that's primarily the reason, because here in the UK, in as much as this is an organized system, right? In as much as things are getting harder in terms of cost of living, the government is really trying to balance things out in terms of, like increasing salaries in much they can, supporting in terms of electricity bills, making some, helpful support and adjustments here and there for the people, compared to some other countries where things only get harder and nothing else in terms of income changes. Some of the primary purpose that people get to leave this country after coming was around frustration. Do you know that some persons, especially families, that's man, woman with children, find it extremely difficult to find accommodation that accepts them and their children? Imagine having children, your own children, and you're not able to find accommodation or a landlord or a letting agent that will permit you come in with your children. That alone is emotionally traumatizing, if you ask me. I think thinking about that alone hurts, because it gives you this feeling that I and my children, or my children at least, are not accepted. It feels like there is no place for them here. How can you feel at home if you cannot even find a home? Aside the physical disability it gives people, it is the mental status, it is the mental stress it gives these people that make them be like, you know what? For whatever it is I came here for, and I cannot find a place that will accept I and my children to help, I'd rather go back. This is heartbreaking. I really feel for such people, especially the fact that they had to make many times overnight decision to leave all that they planned to come here for and go back. Primarily because they're not able to get landlords, letting agents rent out to them a space that will contain them and their children. At my child's school, I was discussing with this lady. You needed to see the frustration in her eyes as she was telling me how very difficult it is for her and her family to find a place. They stay in one room. She has her partner and 2 children. They're not able to find a landlord rent them an apartment simply because they have children. Now, this lady, for example, she's raised here, she's born and raised here, experiencing this difficulty. How much more a person who's come from their home country where they have all of the space, coming to a new land, and then they're telling you, a landlord is telling you, do you have children? You call them, I'm trying to get a flat or something, and then they tell you, do you have children? And then you say yes. They're like, oh, I'm sorry, no children. It's heartbreaking. Another reason why people are leaving this country, the UK, is their inability to get a stay. Imagine a person has come, maybe via study, using the study route for example. The person has come here, have finished studying, and they're not able to get a job that will sponsor them to stay. Because when you go to the websites to apply for jobs, they will ask you from the onset, would you require a sponsorship should you get this job? And you're answering no. Even before you get through the door is already shut behind you. It's shut right in you. The door is not even opening. You apply for 4 jobs, 10 jobs, 20 jobs, 50 jobs, 100. They're asking you the same question. And then when you answer, yes, I'll require a sponsorship, they're not calling you back. How is one going to feel at that state? And probably, let's say you have like 4 months to go. A person in that state is already all over the place. You have no idea the level of confusion the kind of dilemma. Even when this person is walking on the road, I don't even, if time is not taken, they will not be seeing clearly. Because they're filled with thoughts. They will just be walking, but they really can't see. That's how some persons can just fall into depression or just have an accident they did not plan for. I can imagine, I put myself in that situation now, and I can imagine how deranging that would feel. Such a person at some point will have no choice but just to pack their bags and leave. You know why? Because as a matter of fact, if the person decides to stay back or not be this bothered and their current leave to remain expires, they become illegal in the country. And do you want to know the challenges or the impossible life and unimaginable hardship the person is going to experience staying in this country illegally? I'm not saying about the USA. I heard in the USA, even people without papers can even drive, can lead a normal life, but not here in the UK. It's really, really difficult. Really difficult. I think I should make a video about something like that, staying in this country illegally. Another reason why some persons just be like, you know what, this is just not worth it, I'm not doing it, I'm leaving, is unmet expectation. You know how some people are going to be back in their home country, and then you have friends or family here tell you, oh yeah, don't worry, just come, your mates are surviving, come, everything will be fine. And then you get here and it shocks you. Some persons would have promised jobs on arrival, accommodation on arrival, or I'm going to help you find your stay or connect you to so and so person, things will just work out for you, just come. And then they come and the reality hits them. Like, they come and they see that this world is a world of Oyo, you're on your own. They look up and down, left and right. They see not only them and God. What did they tell themselves? Even God self go advise them, my sister, my brother, just carry your bag, they go. Because the thing about being in your home country and experiencing hardship versus being in a strange land, a foreign land where you have probably no roots or no bearing, and experiencing hardship is, back in your home country, it's home, it's familiar. You know people that, they get as it be. You can still have a conversation. You can still laugh. You can still, live life. We Nigerians are very good, at smiling through suffering. That is the typical Nigerian, yeah? But that same Nigerian who can smile through suffering in Nigeria and still be, doing their social media and still be laughing, despite how bad the condition there is. When you bring that same person down here that is supposed to be good and wonderful, life is better, those persons are crying of frustration, crying of loneliness, crying of depression. Even if they have a job, they still feel lonely. That is because this is an unfamiliar ground. So now imagine being in an unfamiliar ground, and that other person I mentioned is even somebody who probably has a job and have an accommodation, have a good roof over their head, but they're still feeling down, feeling depressed, feeling lonely. Now imagine, take away the basic amenities. Imagine somebody who doesn't have these things and staying in this kind of place. They just carry their bag and leave. And apart from those who get maybe deported, or repatriated, which one be the word? I think deported due to having overstayed their visa, which is something that really, really hurts me, really breaks my heart. Because I'm not saying them going back to their home country is bad, but being forced out and back to their home country empty-handed, because when they get to send these people back, they send them back usually just the way they are on the next available flight. It's sad. So aside people who are being taken out back to their home country by force, the last category of people are those who have establishment in their home country and decide to retire back home. So some persons are either elderly and retired back home to their establishments or their properties, while some other persons are still, young and full of life, but they probably do not find themselves able to assimilate to the lifestyle, the European lifestyle, the UK lifestyle, that they prefer to go back to their home country. While some other persons just feel that there is an amazing future for them in their home country, so they've worked here, they'd rather go back home and invest in their home country. But hey, that's not for everybody, at least not for someone like me, because me, a Nigerian, no thank you. Okay, that's just on a lighter note. Well, these are some of the reasons why, painfully, people are leaving the UK and exploring other countries or returning back to their home countries. I'll see you in the next video.